Hello everyone. I've recently been messing with Bud Redstone, which is basically block update detection, and I must say I'm really interested in it, and I've been trying to make some quality of life contraptions, and all of this messing around is honestly getting somewhere, like this tiled decompactor over here, so you get your resources in 9 items at a time, and your storage is all the way over there. But storage tech aside, this video is a way to repurpose the block updates into making some seamless traps. I must say I really enjoyed making this trap, and it just shows me that sometimes it's just fun to create stuff for the sake of it. Alright, so first let's talk about what exactly triggers our trap. So it first starts with this floating waterlogged block. You see, when you activate a piston with a slime block in front of it, when it's going to pull back, it's going to tell the water that it's going to pull back a block, so the water won't update and flow. But since we have obsidian in front of these slime blocks, it's not actually going to pull anything, but the water won't know it. So if I deactivate this piston, you see that the water appears to be floating. So that means that this water will stay frozen until it receives a block update. And since the waterlogged block acts as our floor, the update can come from blocks that sends update, like opening a door or let's say a barrel, for example. So what's going on over here is actually quite simple. All of these pistons are being powered one way or another through QC, but they don't realize it. And the only way they're realizing it is when the water gets updated and triggers an update on them. And they all link up to each other. And here we have a double piston extender, and that's what makes our minecart go to the surface. So this is why the minecart reaches the surface so incredibly fast, since the piston trigger as soon as they get updated, so in the tick itself. The only delay is them extending. Also, I'm using a sponge here to clean up everything when I blow things up, because I don't want just random water sources floating around when I'm testing stuff. But if you're going to build this in survival, obviously don't use it because sponges are not renewable. If you're only using one side of TNT carts, this side would be a solid block, so it could get pushed at feet level and push the minecart once it gets up here. But since we're using another side of TNT carts, we can prematurely activate this TNT cart over here, and that's going to activate this one as soon as it gets to feet level. So let's visualize this. Now it's important to know exactly how it works, because first of all, it's a little bit of a pain to set up, because you have to place every single piston before you place anything that powers them, or else it's going to mess up the update order and blow everything up. And depending on your setup, you'll want to modify it slightly, because you can't push a full column of blocks. So it really depends on what house you want to trap. And so this is the forge, and if I activate the door, it works well. But for example, for this house, it's slightly elevated. So I'm going to use 2 pistons on both sides, so the hopper carts get at foot level. So technically it's going to take 3 more ticks to activate, but it's still very deadly. It's just gonna take longer to get up. So /tick step 8, and both are at feet level, and then none is prematurely activated, so it's gonna take 3 more ticks, I believe. 1 more. Yeah, 3 more ticks to activate. So this one technically takes longer to activate, but honestly, it really doesn't matter. They will die. They have absolutely no chance. But it's just to show you that even though it's really compact, you'll have to modify it slightly depending on the house you're trapping. And again, this isn't exclusive to houses. You can have a barrel on the ground, for example, and it's going to work the same way. So if I open it, well, hopper carts come and explode. Now, I know there's going to be some people complaining about the fact that the TNT carts blow up the stuff, so you don't really gain anything from it. And so I also made this one, which just blows up the floor. It's the exact same trigger mechanism. It's the water updating this piston, which updates this one. and then it updates this dispenser with an arrow in it. And this time the arrow shoots a crystal, which then blows up the floor. And so then you can make a drop shoot trying to kill the player. It's not as guarantee of the death because, there's elytras in the game. There's also ender pearls. There's totems. So whatever happens to the player from now on is your responsibility. Now, before you go ahead and build it for yourself, you need to know the exact component order you need to place, or else it's not going to work. So we're going to start with our waterlogged source with every block that touches it, which includes the door or barrel and every block around it. Then we're going to suspend the water with our sticky piston. Then we're going to place all of our pistons and the blocks that directly touch them, so the slime blocks and these glass blocks. And then since all of our pistons have been placed, we can place every single piece that QC powers them, so all of these levers and redstone blocks. And the amount of TNT carts you place really depends on the resilience your opponent is going to have. I placed 20 on each side, and that should be enough to kill a blast protection 4 player. But again, you should test these and scale up depending on your situation. So now if I come open this door, you should get the activation and everything should blow up. Now, this video was for educational purposes only. I don't want you to come cry to me when someone gets mad if you pull this trap on them. So use at your own risk. Schematics in the description. But that's going to be it for now. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.